Good morning. Let's go see outside. It's been a day. I was struggling with why my internet wasn't working. I reset the modem 100 times and did all of the troubleshooting you can imagine. And then I thought, you know what? I better go check the cord that's on the outside of the house because Luna likes to eat things like walls and flower pots and apparently internet cords. So I'll be going to my shitters. I'll be going to my sister's so that I can upload it. So yesterday I was telling you about my podcast, which is Sabbatical or Suicide. So dramatic. But I told y'all when that name dropped in for me. And Sabbatical or Suicide has been sitting out there in podcast land, unfinished, for 5 years. I've got 14 episodes out, and I have needed to wrap it this whole time, and I just could not figure out what the conclusion of Sabbatical or Suicide would be. And then the universe handed it to me. So I'm very excited to complete Sabbatical or Suicide. So last night I dove into the dusty old shed of audio files from that whole journey, point of conception, all the ridiculous recordings and interviews I did in Europe. Oh my God. It was a ride. It was a ride. And the point is, that when I was going through those audio files, I ran across my very first recording when the vision of Sabbatical or Suicide was just beginning to take shape. So this recording is from before I had a name for the show, before my wife and I technically split up. It was just right there. And I'm playing it for you all because today is the 5-year anniversary of arguably the most defining moment of my life. That was 5 years ago today. And I am going to tell you that story tomorrow. First, though, I want to share with you a segment that I edited this morning of that original audio recording because I love that my vision is the same vision I have for coffee. Is that odd or is that God? And I can hear myself trying so hard to believe that I could do something, that maybe I had something to contribute, that maybe I had something to say, and that maybe it was worth trying to capture it and produce it and share it. So this call in me has been around for quite some time, and I appreciate y'all being here. So let's roll this, and I am going to listen to it with you because why the hell not? I wish y'all were here and we could just have a little jam session, little discussion about all of this because I know so many of you are going through this or have or will, and that's where the juice is. So let's roll this thing.
I've been at home with my kids for coming up on 6 years now, and there's no other way to say it. I was fitting myself into a role that I didn't feel like I fit into. Because I've always felt like my life should be out with people, out in the world, because that's when I'm my most happy. And when I'm making videos. I was also so busy all the time that I had no time to think. And at the end of the day, I was so exhausted that I would just throw down as much alcohol as I could put in my body and try to turn my brain off while my eyeballs were still open. And my only escape, the light, was my creative side. That's where the light is. And so then what happened is my brother died. The unfortunate part of losing someone so suddenly that you love so much and adore so much. I wish that everybody could experience that and then get the person back. Because there is this window after death that is probably the clearest we ever see. Because it shows me what's important. And I was having suicidal thoughts and suicidal ideation for a long time before my brother actually died. When he did die, what it did is it brought it really close to home for me. Holy shit. It's devastating. It's depressing. I was even ashamed of it. I didn't want people to know the truth about the fact that I believe my brother took his own life. Honestly, when I first found out he died, it didn't cross my mind. It never even crossed my mind. Because he didn't seem like he had it in him. He was the brightest light I've ever known, but he struggled. He struggled a lot with his genius and his brilliance and his addictions. He struggled deeply. The point is, his death woke me up because thoughts of me leaving this planet and getting to go play with him and go play with my dad and join the next dimension has been seeming better and better and better for a long time. What I realize is it's not because I actually wanted to kill myself. It's that I haven't been living my authentic life. And hello, I know I sound like a giant self-help broken record midlife crisis person, and that's cool because hey, I guess it's part of the journey. I'm not the first person to go through this, to go through a marriage that's ending and letting go of my wife's hopes and dreams for what my life looks like and starting to focus on what do I want my life to look like. And the conclusion that I came to, my children are my world. They're the reason I'm here. What I need to do is be the example for them and lead the authentic life that I really believe in, so that when they're sitting in my shoes, when they're middle-aged and their marriage is over and they're trying to figure out what's next and feeling lost and confused and suicidal even, that I can say, guess what? This moment is for you. Because I want to be the example I preach to my children. And I am so grateful that my brother gave his life so that I, and hopefully more than just me, can wake up and instead of having a window of what's important, the windows of pain and death, I want to live there. Because this life is too short. It really is too short. It's time to get out there and go do what I know I am supposed to do. Where it's going to go, what I'm going to find, who I'm going to see, I don't know. But my driving force here is for the me in my darkest hour who was searching for a podcast on suicide so that I could either be inspired to make the change I so desperately needed to make and felt deep down was knocking at my door and I couldn't hear it because I slapped the hand every time I heard the knock. What do you want to do? Listen to your voice. Where are you pulled? When are you happy? What inspires you? What makes you push yourself harder? Because that's when you're in alignment with your destiny. And I've been trying to mute that voice for 6 years because I felt like I made a choice, I made my bed, and I have to lie in it. And I'm here to test that theory. What if you did the craziest thing you could possibly do? And what if you believed it 110% that it was the right move and you actually pull the trigger? Not to end, but to start. What I'm after is creating something that is valuable, that brings light and joy and inspiration to other people. That's why I'm here. And it's time I quit pissing on the gifts that I was given and follow that drum. My plan is to go to Europe and invite you along for the ride. My point, don't take your life back. Let's do this, people. Let's do it together. And let's go do some crazy shit in the world. Because what else is the point?